Stay tuned for your weekly news review on STVS.
Welcome. This is your news review in English. I'm your presenter, Susan Maynard. There is a good cooperation between the Ministries of Justice and Police and Defense. Minister Lamure Latour of Defense said that on Thursday, March 21st, during the training of some police officers, 18 junior police inspectors are at Bosbifak for the first part of the training to become police inspectors. This training started on March 4th this year. As part of the introductory period, as this is called, they've descended along a rope from the Weidenbos Bridge in Meerzorg in Kommerwijnen. They did this under the guidance of some soldiers. Minister Latour was also present to motivate the officers. According to the ministers, there's good cooperation between the police and the army. Police Commissioner Agnes Daniel also says that the training is a part of the physical and mental state of the upcoming inspectors of police. Commissioner Daniel is satisfied with what she has seen so far of the training. She also says that a selection has taken place with a certain profile in mind. People in the health sector are coming among the essential link within this sector. It doesn't stop with study and their development within the subjects about healthcare. The director of the Elsje Vink Sanishar College, COVAP, Yvonne Liwashu, believes that with the 101 graduates, the need is provided for continuously. On Friday, March 22nd, 51 nurses, 21 health workers, 19 practice teachers, and 10 dialysis nurses were installed. During the event, they received their certificates and pins. Among the graduates were also the best graduates from the 4 professions. The best graduates come from the Academic Hospital, Diakonessen Hospital, and the St. Vincentius Hospital. The anti-discrimination walk attracted more than 13,000 visitors this year. This 7-kilometer-long course is held for the 11th time this year, and like every year, the participants emphasize that people should not discriminate. Reinel Enfield and Abigail Misijan, the CARICOM youth ambassadors, claimed the floor briefly to address the youth, as well as the Minister of Sports and Youth Affairs, Ismanto Atna. Start and finish of the course, one of the activities of the CARICOM Youth Ambassadors Program, was at the Independence Square. Suriname stands with its CARICOM Youth Ambassadors Program as model for the CARICOM. The Anti-Discrimination Week started March 16th, and there are a lot of activities related to the elimination of racism and discrimination. Thursday, March 21st, was the International Day for the Elimination of Racism and Discrimination. By early August, the inner city of Paramaribo should show the much-needed convenience for customers, visitors, and traders. With this objective, the employees of the contractors company Changalanga started the second part of the Maagdenstraat, where on both sides of the road parking space is created. The work is carried out at a rapid pace. Before August, more than 80% of the plan to beautify the city should be completed. If this goal is achieved, everyone who visits the city will leave home with a pleasant feeling, without caring about, among other things, the lack of parking space. It seems that some drivers show little understanding for the inconvenience that is caused by the work, and they vent their irritation on the workers, who are working in the interest of the Ministry of Public Works, namely to give the city another look. The work can go faster and better if all people help through the exercise of patience and understanding. At present, the section between the Jodenbrede and the Steenbakkerijstraat is being done. It is intended that the same adjustments which are done in the Domineestraat will also take place in the Maagdenstraat and other parts of town. All this is part of the plan, city beautification of the current government. The second edition of the United Business Fair was opened by Vice President Robert Amerali on Friday, March 22nd. This exhibition is a collaboration between the United Business Magazine and the Surinamese Business Forum. The first day of the fair drew a fair number of people. The Chamber of Commerce and Industry Hall was transformed into a colorful place where a number of local businesses had a booth. About 90 companies from Suriname and abroad displayed their services to the community. A number of companies had attractive promotions for visitors. With this exhibition, the organizers want to stimulate entrepreneurship. It was also intended that the visitors and the exhibitors make contacts for potential cooperation. A fashion show made the event complete. The Department of Public Green, which is responsible for the maintenance of the town, is not happy about the use of the more than 500 waste bins in the center of the city. At the end of last year, Public Green started a project in order to promote the maintenance of the town, but up till Saturday, March 23rd, the civil participation was not sufficiently filled in. In this part of the town, the government has placed more than 6 waste bins which are not used. Waste is dumped right next to the bins, and that's not conducive to human health and the tourism sector. It's also not good for the traffic with unnecessary traffic jams and for the safety in the traffic. According to John Lecton, head of Public Green, it's the task of the community itself to ensure that the main objective of a clean and fresh Suriname will be achieved with less effort. If everyone takes care of their own waste, other areas that for years are longing for a maintenance will be addressed. But if the department must clean the same location again and again, work will not progress. The work schedule of Public Green is still set at 2 times a day for the garbage disposal and clean up the town. Mr. Lecton notes that the emptying of the bins, some raking and sweeping have to be done because the waste is not in but dumped aside the bins. Mr. Lecton likes to see that in the field of legislation, laws are made with sanctions against those who are guilty of intentionally littering and contaminating public areas. Great sadness, but also huge appreciation for what he has meant for the Surinamese media and entertainment were at the center of the funeral ceremony prior to the cremation of the body of Werner Dutenhofer last Sunday. The entire media world was shocked with the news that 68-year-old Werner Dutenhofer passed away on Sunday, March 17, after he became unwell at the wheel of his car. Nearly the entire media world, artists, government officials, including Vice President Robert Amerali, dignitaries, members of parliament, and individuals from both the public and private sector came to pay their last respect. President Desiree Bouterse, who recently decorated Mr. Dutenhofer, was unable to attend the funeral because of the visiting Asian President Michel Martelly. He did have a farewell message for Werner on audio in which he expressed his gratitude for what Werner has meant for Suriname. The performances of old and young artists indicated that this icon of the media and entertainment world had played an important role in Suriname since he was 18 till his passing at 68. Indeed, a great son of Suriname passed away, and both his children and employees of Radio 10 promised to continue his good work. The modules for the construction of the big refinery of Staatsolie have arrived from Italy. The refinery should ensure quality petrol products in the near future. Last Sunday, the ship United Yacht docked at the port of the Nieuwhaven with 10 modules. From the ship, the Marataka River 2, all this was witnessed by the media and other invited guests. According to Rudolf Elias, Director of Marketing and Refining, Staatsolie couldn't afford a big refinery earlier because of the shortage of financial resources in the past. Mark Waldek, General Director of Staatsolie, emphasized the importance of the modules. According to the director of the oil company, the refinery costs about $750 million. The modules will take 30% of the construction of the plant, while 70% will exist of local material. Staatsolie currently has a comparatively small refinery where diesel fuel and crude oil are produced. The three-day visit of the Asian President Michel Martelly has laid a foundation for an intensive relationship between Haiti and Suriname. There were talks between the Ministries of Foreign Affairs, Agriculture, Livestock Breeding and Fisheries, LVV, and Trade and Industry, HI, of Suriname and their counterpart from Haiti. Just before the departure of President Martelly to Haiti, a press conference was held in the presence of President Desi Bouterse. Martelly began his speech by thanking his counterpart Desi Bouterse and the Surinamese people for the interest shown to his visit. In addition, a letter of intent was signed by the foreign ministers of both countries. On Sunday, March 24th, Martelly also had a meeting with the Asian community in Suriname, which he was very well content with. A consulate both in Suriname and Haiti, a partnership in the field of agriculture with rice as the main project, and air connection with Port-au-Prince are some of the priority points which were addressed. According to President Martelly, a directive has been determined which is of eminent importance for both countries for the continuation and improvement of the current relationship. Matters such as education, energy, public health, and traceability of food products have also been discussed. The Asian President, Michel Martelly, has also confirmed that the country will also take part in the 11th edition of Carifesta that will be held from August 15th until the 25th in Suriname. Martelly departed Monday back to his country. The reform policy which is implemented within the force of customs officers must provide a number of changes within the service. Romeo Shin Aloy, president of the Union of Customs Officers, is happy with the progress within the force. Anand Ramjilal is chairman of the intermanagement team, which is compiled by the Cabinet of the President for Customs and Excisive Service. He told the personnel last Tuesday about the new plans within the service. In appointing the new team of customs officers, Minister of Finance Adeline Weinerman pointed out that the long-promised reforms should immediately begin. Mr. Shinaloy noted that the union has fought for years for these developments, which take effect now. There are also economic reforms within the service. 16 junior customs officers were sworn in on Tuesday after they applied for the post about 3 years ago. They are now allowed to perform the complete tasks of customs officers. Mr. Ramjilal indicates that the swearing in is a part of the reform. The group, which has been installed, consists of 40 persons, but in this phase, 16 of them were sworn in. According to Hinduism, Holi is a New Year's Eve fest. It is shown with planting of the holika. The fest is about the victory of good over evil, adversary to prosperity, and grief to joy. The last decades, Holi has become an international event celebrated by Hindus and non-Hindus. It started first of all with planting of a cutting which represents the goddess Holika, preceded by prayers and sacrifices made by a pandit. That is done to acquire prosperity for the believers of the Hindu community and also for the entire Surinamese nation. After 40 days, the burning of the holika takes place. That is preceded by cooking, partying, and dancing with family. Later in the evening, around 8, after religious expressions, they walk 5 times around the stake, symbolizing the 5 basic elements of the human body. After the burning of the holika, everyone sits together and enjoys the various activities. At sunrise, the elderly come together to smear themselves with the ashes of the stake, wishing each other prosperity. This tradition is now dying. And then they shower themselves with colored powders. Several Hindus and non-Hindus are commemorating this day. Apart from the commerciality of the event, some celebrate the fest because they see their relatives and loved ones again after a long time. Holy celebration not only symbolizes unity and equality, but also victory. The different colored liquid, powder, paste, and such make many Hindus think of the different ethnicities in the country. In different places in and around Paramaribo, Holy Pagwa was celebrated in abundance. That concludes our news review in English. For more information, you can visit us at www.stvs.sr. I'm Susan Maynard.